If the average male at his prime were to run full sprint into a cheese-cutting wire, would it slice him in half? Okay, I got really curious about this, and it turns out, someone else did the math. https://sciencemeetsfiction.com 20,150,503 What if rejects 5-2 cutting the cheese. While a cheese-cutting wire is sharp, it's unlikely that a full sprint would slice someone in half. The force and thickness of a human body would generally prevent such a clean separation. How fast do you think people run? It would hurt, yes, but it won't slice in half. No, not even close. Aircraft carriers use a crazy strong steel wire to catch jets as they land. These fuckers will grab them while they are going 220 mph and drag them to a dead stop, so they don't roll off the ship's edge and into the ocean. Those wires can break, and when they break they smash into the ground crew. Those steel wires, with all of that force, are not capable of bisecting a human. It'll hurt, it'll shatter bones, but it won't cut you in half. The movie Ghost Ship is not factually accurate. Is your cheese-cutting wire actually sharp? Mine have ways just been regular thin wire, and they cut through cheese because cheese is soft, not because the wire is good at cutting. No, unfortunately we don't live in a fictional action movie where the laws of physics are oft ignored. Think about trip wires, which is basically this, just only at feet level. Nobody ever loses their feet. Rarely does it ever go that deep. With speed you probably snap through it. It's when things go slow that they can cause real harm. The three-body problem has entered the chat. TLDR, no, but it can decapitate him if he trips and falls just right. Details below. This intrigued me as a physicist, so I did the math. We all know Newton's law of force equals mass times acceleration. Some of us that paid attention still remember potential and kinetic energy as well as impulse and momentum. So let's add some assumptions here. A guy in his prime running at full speed, interpreted as an athletic male weighing the average of 78 kg, and can run a mile in 7 minutes, velocity equals 3.83 ms. This means the runner's kinetic energy is 572 joules. To be sliced in half, running straight into cheese wire that I assumed is semi-rigid, moves only 1 cm on impact, and unbreakable, he would need to exert 57,000 newtons, about 83,000 pounds per square inch, to get through bone and flesh, which is unrealistic at such a low speed. So I thought, what if he were running at full speed, and tripped, and fell into the cheese wire, assumed to really mean a thin steel cable that was 0.75 m off the ground about chest level, in such a way it struck his throat. Did that math and found that it would take 12,000 psi to decapitate the poor sap. This is more realistic when factoring in inertial moments and other boring stuff. Let's find out. These are the kinds of questions I joined this sub for. Usain Bolt might be dead. This is how stupid internet trends get started. Guys, I think I have a challenge to record myself doing. I wonder who will ride their bike into a cheese-cutting wire next. Nope. It'll cut him, but he's too slow and too heavy. Wire will break. Source? I saw a man hit a fence wire from a motorcycle. He broke the wire, but not before getting a bad cut across his arms and stomach. No leathers. It was gnarly. Poor bloke. Mythbusters did this with cables trying to cut through a pig carcass. Wires and cables are not great cutting devices when it comes to denser things like skin, fat, muscle, and bone. When my niece was like 3, someone tied a wire between 2 trees near one of the school playgrounds. She ran into it with her neck. It hurt, it left a mark, but she was okay. More sad than anything. No, I doubt that it would cut through skin even. Skin is very elastic. If it's thin enough to cut, it's no longer strong enough to not snap. I see a Mythbusters episode with a 50-foot scaffold, a wire, and a large bone in him. This post stinks,